W7, we are, wow, we're live. I think we're live. I hope we're live. Larry will probably let us know if we're not. But special edition of W7 Live today. Call this the therapy edition, you guys. I think we're all kind of need some therapy. And so I got a hold of my good friend, Jason Zaleski from Zaleski Sports, and said, let's have a little therapy session and talk about, what's going on and maybe we can do something for the kids to kind of make them feel better because it's kind of a rough time right now. So, Jason, you and I talked, obviously, on our way up to the Rush Center in March as all this stuff was kind of going down. And, I guess let me take a step back first. So everybody knows W7 on this, at least on this call, because, I mean, they know who we are. Tell us real quick about Zaleski Sports. I mean, we're kind of like brothers from another mother, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, and thanks for having me. It's a long time coming, so I'm glad we're able to do this, and hopefully as we do this maybe a little bit more frequently when sports are in session. But we'll take it however we can get it right now.
For sure.
Yeah. So Zaleski Sports covers both boys and girls high school sports, also college sports in the central Wisconsin area, live highlights, et cetera, and. Yeah, entering our well, I guess we're halfway through our fourth year now of doing this and just having a great time. Yeah.
So you're like an old man in this technology now. I mean, you're like one of the veterans.
I feel it too.
Yeah, you and me both. I tell you what, if I gotta climb another flight of steps, I don't know. it's a lot of carrying stuff, gear back and forth. But hey, we love doing it though, and it's for the kids, obviously. And I know you guys have had a lot of success in Central Wisconsin, and we kind of just crossed paths a couple times and said, hey, let's talk and see if we can at least kind of work together a little bit. And so that's kind of what we're doing today. And you came to me with an idea, and I said, hey, let's go with that. But before we get there, we all get it, right? I mean, we all get the whole Corona thing, and I don't want to get a whole big spiel about it, but, I think we're all kind of mourning still, certainly winter sports, and now starting the process for spring sports. I mean, what are you guys seeing out there? What are you hearing out there at the central part of the state?
Yeah, well, the last 13 days for me have been a lot of refreshing the WIA site,
right?
To see something else, or, but, what we're seeing is, I guess prior to even 3 or 4 days ago, a lot of kids taking swings, whether it's at their school ball diamond or at a ball diamond down the street, playing catch in the driveway. And I think they're probably still doing some of that right now. But the indoor batting cages are hopping if they're allowed to be open. I know there's some question marks in some of those, but I think we see a lot of kids with a lot of positivity.
Yeah.
A lot of good outlook and a lot of hope in their eyes, and we share all of it with them.
Well, and it's, the winter sports obviously was terrible, both on the boys and girls side. Just, with the girls, we only got Friday's games in, and then, I was on my way back. I was with Mishicot Thursday. And I was on the way back with Mishicot, and Coach Du Bois, the assistant coach at Mishicot, came up to me in the bus and said, hey, guess what? The rest of the tournament's been canceled. And I'm like, what do you mean? That doesn't even make sense. What do you mean canceled? I mean, there's games supposed to be played. I mean, this is like a big deal. I mean, you can't just cancel it. I mean, we got to find out if Beaver Dam's going to make it 4 in a row. I mean, I got to know if Kennedy Osterman and Pewaukee's going to win state. I mean, we got a lot of stuff to resolve here. You can't just leave it like this. I mean, that's crazy. And I don't know that I'm still necessarily out of that mode yet. I would say I guess I'm getting to the acceptance part. But again, to me, it's like the mourning stages. I mean, at first was outrage and denial and everything else, and it's a process. And beyond what I think, I mean, what's the worst is just how it's affected the kids, and really how many kids are gonna have to look back in 20 years and say, hey, what could have been? And that's the worst thing of all, because you and I played high school sports, and we ended our careers on the court. I mean, and that's the way it is. These kids didn't get a chance to do that, and to me, that just absolutely breaks my heart, because sure, a lot of people go and play college ball and do other things, and it's not the end of the world. I get that. These are first world problems, as I call them, but still, they're problems, and it's tough. I mean, I feel for these kids.
For me, Gary, talking like this is therapy. For the last 13 days, I've done a lot of talking. I've been fortunate enough as the days have gone on. I think back to that Thursday, we were allowed to group in 250, and
right.
Then it went down to 50, and then 10, and now here we are, talking like this. But so we just kind of went with the punches and rolled with the flow, and we've spent our time last 13 days talking to conference players of the year, coaches of the year, all those kind of things. It was just talking through all this, reliving the best parts of the season, but of course talking about when everything came down that Thursday. Coming up next week, people will see on Zaleski Sports, Lexi Donarski, Miss Basketball. We had a chance to talk to Lexi.
Oh, fantastic. So, well,
yeah,
make sure you
just all those kind of things, just talking, just, because I think that's what we can do right now is just talk about it.
Yeah, make sure you tag us on that. I definitely want to see Lexi's interview. Boy, I got to watch her play, and I saw her play at State the last 2 years, but boy, she's just so fun to watch play the game, and you can tell she just loves the game so much, and, kids you just love kids like that. And are you getting any indications on spring sports? I mean, I think we're all kind of in this wait and see mode, and I don't know. I mean, I guess I could see it going either way. I mean, are you getting like a gut feeling like, hey, this is going to happen or this isn't going to happen?
Well, unfortunately, Gary, my gut says no.
Yeah.
And we all looked at the Department of Instruction first to maybe look for some clues, and that's I think where our first clues would come from. That and the governor talking about if and when school reopens, and if school reopens in the next few weeks, even by the end of April, then we got a shot at it. We have some mandatory practices to get in. We can shorten the schedule, get just conference games in if need be. We can eliminate some of the non-conference games or some of those, obviously the tournaments that would have been happening even next weekend around the state. So there's a shot for a condensed season, but DPI and the governor at some point here in the next couple weeks, probably going to have to give us a day when school will open so we can plan for that.
Well, hey, I mean, the Brewers are talking about or the MLB's talking about going 7-inning games. Heck, we'll go 3-inning games, 4-inning games. I mean, whatever it takes, we'll do it, whatever it takes, because, like you, I mean, you get relationships with a lot of these kids, and I got a lot of seniors that play softball that I got to go see. I can't, I can't just leave this like this and just hanging out here like this. I mean, that's not right.
No, it's not, and it's frustrating. I think the frustration we're all feeling is because our hands are tied.
Yes.
No matter how much effort and emphasis and stuff we want to pour into it, unfortunately, we're at the mercy of some other things and some other people.
Well, and then of course, as a parent, as an adult, I'll use that word loosely, but as an adult, you take a step back and say, okay, well, if doing all this were to save one child's life, is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. There's no question about it. Of course, it's worth it. That goes without saying. So, and people will look back and say, if it doesn't turn as bad as it could have, it'd be like, well, all this was for nothing. Well, I think just the opposite. I mean, I think what we're doing is again trying to flatten that curve. And again, there's a lot of smarter people in this world than me to talk about it. But hopefully everybody understands. Hey, this is where we are, and we got to do the best we can with what we have. And maybe if it doesn't work out this spring, I told some of the softball kids, hey, we'll try and figure something out for the summer if we get things going in the summer. I mean, I've never done summer club ball before with softball. Hey, I'm willing to give it a try. We'll come and do a couple tournaments and see some of the kids. I mean, it's not going to be the same, but I mean, hey, that's okay. I mean, we could still have fun with it. To me, the big thing is just seeing the kids. I think you're kind of the same way. I mean, we got a lot of kids to see before the school year ends.
Yeah, for sure. And it's fun to watch those kids. It's fun to watch them grow.
It is.
It's fun each year to say goodbye to the seniors and to thank them on a positive, well-meaning career, that high school career that they had. And I think that if desire and hope and a positive attitude counts, then we've got a really good shot at it.
See, here's why you're so cool, Jason. I mean, you're doing like interviews with kids and posting interviews and doing contests. I mean, I'm posting selfies of me wearing high school T-shirts, and we did today was GIFs day, so it's all GIFs on Instagram all day today. And there's nothing hard-hitting journalistic about it. It's just goofy nonsense. But it's part of that whole. You got to do something to stay sane, and in a way, in a weird kind of way. I mean, it helps keep me connected with the kids because I mean that's the main thing, obviously.
Yeah. I just want to do what I can to help tell their story, and we haven't got to the spring sports kids yet because I want to wait and see what happens with all this. But if I can help to tell somebody's story, I will certainly do it. And if I will help myself to look like a buffoon, I will do that too. And I know we're going to talk about that soon. But speaking
of brothers from another mother, we're both into that. So. We're both really good at that, and you gotta be okay with it to do what we do, and I love it. I love it when people say that. I mean, hey, that means we're doing it just right. If I ever get accused of being a journalist, we're in big trouble.
Right.
So, hey, a couple things. Let's talk about the 2020 outdoor free throw shooting contest. great idea that you came up with, and reached out to me and said, "Hey, can we team up on something here?" And so let's talk about that and tell our folks what this is.
Well, so what it is, we've been working at Zaleski Sports for the past, week and a half to come up with something. I mentioned before, as our crowd sizes went from 250 to 50 down to what they are now, our ideas kept changing. And we, at one point it was maybe a 3-on-3 basketball contest, or maybe it was a home run hitting contest, or just something to get out and get active and stay active, stay in the rhythm. We thought about basketball because there are a lot of unfinished seasons as it is that we're out there. So we thought, okay, well, if we do something basketball, maybe that can help with that. If we did something, out on a ball field, a baseball, softball, maybe that would help with something in the future. And so what we landed on was a free throw shooting contest. And actually there was news out of Indiana about 48 hours ago. There's an individual there doing something in that way, having a free throw shooting contest. And we were like 85% of the way there on the free throw shooting. Just didn't know exactly how to format it and, how to get everybody involved that wanted to be involved. And so we took that news out of Indiana as our kind of our final inspiration. And it was like, this is exactly how we finish off what we're thinking about. So the idea is, and the contest is, to get outside in your driveway or somewhere safe that, of course, abides by all the safe at home laws and ordinances and all that concept. Of course, that's number one. Stay safe. Don't only be where you're allowed to be.
Yep.
But ideally, you're in a driveway, and maybe obviously your own driveway, and we were attempting to make as many consecutive free throws as possible, and videoing yourself, because of course we want to keep it fair, and there would be maybe some question marks if somebody turned in a 300 in a row streak. Okay, well, let's see that. So video is required with your streak, but the idea is just to get outside, get some fresh air, go out with your brother, your sister, your mom, your whatever, and get a rebounding partner. It helps if you can stay in rhythm. Shooters know that. But get outside, shoot some free throws. At the very least, you're going to get some activity. You're going to improve your shooting skills, or keep your skills sharp.
Right.
And then, hey, who knows? Maybe in your age group, you can win. We've had some nice companies here from our area donate some prizes. We've got some Zaleski sports swag that's up for grabs as well, plus bragging rights. And I don't think there's a better prize than bragging rights, saying I was the best free throw shooter during this downtime. So that's essentially what it is. Get outside. Make as many consecutive free throws as you can. We've got a qualification period. We'll see if we turn that into brackets later, but for now, just get outside and make as many free throws as you can. Turn in your top score each day. If today's score beat yesterday's, people are turning those in. This is now day 2 on our side of it.
So our kids can still get into it.
And off you go.
Our kids can still get into it even though they missed the first day, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. So go ahead, Gary, and tell them about that.
So girls, join this. Go to ZaleskiSports.com for the details. The link is up on the screen right now. Go check it out. I mean, hey, I know it's not the Rush Center. Jason and I know that, but it's something to do. It's something to keep you engaged, something to have fun with. And you know what? We're gonna sweeten the pot a little bit. So for my girls, the winners, we're gonna give you guys each a set of these. These are W7 branded earbuds, and we'll get those out to you with the winner. So that's going to be on the girls' side. I think, Jason, you're planning on doing something on the boys' side for the winners on the boys' side.
Yep. We've got some Zaleski Sports T-shirts and some hats, and we could probably root around here and dig up some other stuff too. But Gary and I will kind of decide here on the top 2, top 5, whatever it may be. But I think for today is get outside and start shooting your free throws, get warmed up. Figure out who's going to be the rebounder, who's the shooter, where are you going to put the camera. There's some configurations that you need to do. Now, a lot of folks have done them by themselves too. So whatever you need to do, the idea is just to get out and, got to make one. One gets you on the list. And
we don't need pro video, right? I mean, hey, use your phone, prop it up somewhere and hit record. I mean, don't get professional lighting or anything like that. I mean, just, hit the record button while you're shooting and send that in did they send that in with the results then, Jason? Is that how that works? Or do they hold on to it? We're going to verify it if we need to.
Yeah. What we're having everybody do is just send in your results for now. Keep your video though. Don't
keep your video.
Keep the video, but send in your results. So send in your name, your city, how many you made, and then we'll put you on the leaderboard, and then just keep the video. And for the top finishers, then we'll ask for the video when we get to that point, and then you'll send it in, and we'll make a cool highlight. And I know Gary's good at the highlights too.
We're pretty good with those. Yeah,
shooting the free throws and have a good time doing that.
And we'll put a link to this up on our website as well, so productionsw7.com if you want to go and check it out there, and a link to Zaleski. Again, we're working together on this. This is a kind of a joint deal between Zaleski Sports and W7. Again, it's again, we want to do something to give you kids some fun and have something fun to do. So Jason, I think it's a great idea. I'm really, really glad you reached out and talked to me about it. I think you've really come up with a great idea. So what I expect now is to see some kids from the eastern side of the state and the valley, on that list. I see all the central Wisconsin kids. I see the Rapids kids and everybody else. I see the Marshfield kids. I want to start seeing some Germantown. I want to see some Menominee Falls. I want to see Brookfield Central, Slinger. All you guys, let's get on there and get going on that. So get out there, make your free throws tonight. And you know what? Your coaches will love you for it. I mean, you're working out, you're doing things. That's the main thing. And while I got us on here, I want to give our daily update on our homeschool contest. So first of all, Jason, you got in some trouble this morning. You and I did with Coach Bullis up at DC Everest. I mentioned that DC Everest was in 6th place in our homeschool contest, and you put out a post. So tell about what you were thinking and what happened there. That was really funny.
Well, I was thinking to myself, geez, what if DC Everest wins? Gary's going to have some long drives up to the Wausau area to cover Coach Bullis' team. And then I thought, well, wait a minute here. I could probably cover his team a little bit more, and that's really what got me in trouble. Is looking back on it, I think we probably had his girls on once during the season, and so shame on us for that.
Well, and it's all in fun, and we both know Matt. I mean, Matt's a great guy, great coach. It's all about the kids with him, and nothing wrong with poking at us once in a while. It keeps us humble, right? That's okay. Yep. That's okay. So. We're actually in the middle of our homeschool contest right now. We're actually in the final days of it. I'm going to pull up our standings here for y'all so you can see where we're at. And let me put this up here and take one of these off so we can all see. So you're trusting me to do technology, and that's just not a good thing. Okay. All right. Here it is. So as it stands right now, we have 4 days left after today. So today's the 26th, or 5 days after today. It goes to the 31st. First place remains Germantown, $4,735.70. That's pretty darn good. Mishicot right there, 3,700 in second. DSHA in third at 2,300, and Brookfield Central at fourth, and then so on down the list. To me, it's still anybody's game. Anybody that wants it can still do it. And here's the weird thing, Jason. I put a poll out on Twitter last night saying, who do you think is going to win this? And I said, do you think it'll be Mishicot? Do you think it'll be Germantown? Or do you think it'll be DSHA? Or do you think it'll be somebody else? And 24% of the respondents said somebody else. So clearly, some people know things I don't know.
Somebody's sitting on a small stack of cash somewhere.
Somebody's laying in the weeds, hiding out with a big bankroll. So we'll have to see if that comes to fruition. But it's been a great event, and same as you. I mean, our supporters are just fantastic. We absolutely love our fans and our supporters. They're just beyond amazing. I just don't have words for how great they've been to help us do what we all kind of do together. And I know you feel the same way about your folks as well. Is it hard not doing? I mean, to me, it's. I feel like I'm in this void. Like I should be doing a game somewhere or something. My wife even is like, "Gosh, boy, you really should be out doing games or something, huh?"
I said it on we do a weekly radio show here in the area. It's a Monday show, and I said it during that show. My schedule's all uprooted. I don't know what day it is.
I know.
I don't know what time it is. Because the game time was our schedule. The game tipped at 7:15.
Yep.
Your cameras went live at 6:50. You left the house at 5:50. You packed your bags at 4. I mean, the schedule's all laid out, and I don't know which way to go. Real quick before I forget here too, I'm going to get myself in trouble again probably, which is kind of my second favorite thing to do. We've got a golden retriever named Dasher, and he's a big fan of the Dashers. So he's hoping the Dashers are able to get first place.
Hear that, Coach Hendo? Dasher's pulling for you guys. That's good news. Well, hey, Jason, I want to thank you for joining us, and again, just for the just a great idea on the outdoor free throw shooting contest. Again, it's ZaleskiSports.com. That's ZALESKI sports.com. It's up on the screen right now. Check it out. Again, we'll put a link to it on our page as well. And I want to start seeing those results coming in here pretty soon from you guys. And maybe we'll do like an East versus Central rivalry or something, Jason.
I mean, you never know what can happen for something like this, and we hope that it's good. I will say, get out and get your shots, get your results, and whatever they are. Mine is 7. I got 7 on the board right now. And Gary, we hope to see you on the free throw line too.
I'll get there. I will definitely get there. I may get 1, maybe. Okay.
1 is all it takes.
Jason, thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your day. And, together it's for the kids, for both of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.